Today in the pedal vault, the Solar Chug. The Chug is the first distortion pedal that was made under the label Solar, and it's the label from Ola, England. I think you are very well familiar with him and what he does. So we have this pedal, it's made in China, it comes in a nice metal housing with this engraved Chug and the Solar symbol, and we have 6 knobs, or actually it seems like six knobs, but actually we have 10 knobs because 4 of them have double functions. Okay, we have basically a 5-band EQ because here we have bass and depth control, or rather depth and bass control. Then we have a middle control, and here we have treble and presence control. On the lower row we have our gain section, we have volume, and here we have an integrated noise gate. Here we have gain, and here we have a double concentric putty with the low frequency gain and the high frequency gain. This is known as well on the Suns amp PSA 1 and on the Randall amps. I think he did it a bit more there. He actually had 3 different pre-gain putties. Okay, with this said, let's head over to the EQ curve. We have everything at noon and the noise gate disengaged. So a huge cut here. And basically nothing really happening up to 600 Hertz. Okay, first things first, the volume. We have some huge headroom here. Now gain. Doesn't change the frequencies at all. That's really good. Now I think we have to engage the gain, because now nope, nothing happening here. Here with the low frequency gain we have a slight shift, as you can see, but it's very, very subtle. Okay, so for the sake of this video, let's leave it at noon. Okay, now depth gives us a bit of a low shelf here. I can even more cut the bass. Bass seems to be centered around 70 Hertz. Mids looks like an overall boost up to 5K. So very broad EQ centered around somewhere here. Okay, treble, very subtle. Very amp-like behavior actually. Whoops. And presence. Oh, seems to be a shift here. Okay. Now let's find out how the Chug actually sounds. So I have, to be honest, mixed feelings about this pedal. First of all, let's focus on the positive things. I really like the 5-band EQ, so that you have an additional depth and presence control. I think every preamp pedal should have depth and presence, and it's so cool. Then the noise gate, it works really well, so very well done. And I really like the possibility to shape your distortion sound with the low gain and the high gain knobs here. And an overall gain, that's okay. So the sound itself, I think it's too bright, at least for my taste, and I claim to have a really bright taste. So in front of a clean amp, or well, the obvious first, this is not a boost pedal in front of a driven amp. It sounds awful. Nope, not good. So in front of a clean amp, I think it has way too much highs. You really have to dial back the presence, especially. I find presence and depth be way more active or way more effective than bass and treble, and therefore I played around with those a bit. And yeah, in front of a clean amp, it sounded too digital, almost MT2-ish. Well, yes. The mid control is cool. I would have preferred if you could sweep through some mid frequencies, but that's okay. This is already full packed with features. The best was in front of the power amp or just into the FX return of an amp. There, I think it sounded best. You could really shape the sound to your liking. Not my personal favorite tone, however. It's very, very modern. Maybe it's too modern for me, although I prefer or I really like modern sounds, but not with this pedal. However, so, well, I think I will shoot some follow-up videos and compare it to a bunch of different pedals, try to make a chainsaw with an HM2, of course. But so far, for me personally, this is not a keeper, not satisfied with the sound. But what about you? What do you think about my demo? Do you think I demoed it good, or do you think I chose bad sounding environments? Keep in mind, all pedals go through the same sounds. Or do you own this pedal and how do you use it? Just let me know so that I can make a follow-up video on this. Just leave a comment down below in the comment section. And if you want to support this channel, check out the links in the description. And with this said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my Instagram account. May the force be with you and have a nice day.